tell what's your city of origin? Where were you born? And all that story.
Actually, I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and we left St. Louis. My mom died when I was about 4 years old. My father married a woman with 5 kids, and we were all stair steps. So it was me, my sister, and myself. I mean, me, my sister, my brother, three of us. And so we left out from St. Louis when my mom passed to move. We stayed for about 5 years in some part of Arkansas. Then we moved here in California. So I consider myself really a native of California because I've been here most of my life. As a kid growing up and going to Horseman Junior High School, I remember one of my teachers who said to me, I used to think that I was cheated out of art because they didn't teach me. They would tell me, here, you take this big sheet of paper, and they would give everybody else the little sheet of paper. They say, you do what you want to do. And I never could understand that. But as I gotten older, I realized they saw something in me.
You were the best.
Well, call it, you could say that, but...
Yes. So how did you get involved with the arts and the murals? How did you...
You know what? That was a weird situation because I have an actress friend who actually got a call out for muralists. Now here it is. It comes to her house, and she comes over to my house. She said, "Fill this out." I said, "Fill it out." I said, "I never did no mural before in my life. I mean, I don't know what to do." I said, "I never won nothing." She said, "So what? Fill it out." So I filled it out. And my package that I sent in was nothing but portraits. And I had the opportunity to work with Nancy Cox on a spark mural. And I did very little, but I still had a sense of, oh my God, this is something that I can really dig. And so anyway, I sent in my package, and lo and behold, I got a call saying you won. Oh my God. I was crying, I was excited, and I was scared at the same time. The Freedom Won't Wait mural was interesting because at that time, Lindsay, Haley, and Ama Lopez was working for Judy Baca at Spark. Spark is Public Art Resource Center. And I couldn't come up, they were assigned to me. I couldn't come up with my sketch because I'm not familiar with painting murals. So I couldn't come up with my sketch, and they pulled me to the side. They said, "Hey, look at here, sister. You holding up my check. You got to come up with your design because everything is a deadline."
Right.
So I still couldn't think of anything. And the first time I came up with a sketch, I had nothing but faces. And Judy, when I took the sketch to Judy, Judy said, She said, "I'm so tired of African Americans, black folks doing headshots." She said, "Tell a story." So we're in the barbershop, and I'm cutting hair, and one of my coworkers come to me, and he says, because everybody's watching the first verdict on the TV, the beating of Rodney King, and when they had that in court, and they said not guilty of the police officers beating Rodney King.
I remember.
Across the board, the shop became very chaotic, and when the shop got all chaotic, one of my coworkers came to me, and he said, "Do you know what that means, Noni? That means open season on black people." And I thought, oh my God, there it is. And it was like something burst inside of me, and then the story started to birth itself. I wanted the wall to scream. I wanted the wall to scream because there was an incident that happened where it was a patron. Now, I didn't see the beginning, and I don't know why she had a knife. But she had a knife in her hand, and she was surrounded by 9 police officers, and they drop kicked her right in front of that wall. They laser tied her and dropped her like a hog, like you tie a hog, dropped her right on that cement. And when I saw that, I said I wanted the wall to scream. With everything that was going on, I wanted that wall to scream. What I would do is I would get images from different events that were happening around the world, like in South Africa, there was the apartheid, and so you saw all the faces screaming, and then you have back in the 60s, early 60s, where you have the, the civil rights movement. So what I wanted to do was incorporate what was already said and done, but tell it in a story in my way, and then ad-lib some things. and then put the emotions that were going on in the community, like there was some patron saying no justice, no justice, no peace. So I wanted to put that in there. And then also the murals become a community where I'm listening to what they're saying and what they're going through. And one of my friends said, it's not freedom can't wait, because that's what I originally wanted to name it, but it's freedom won't wait. So I used it.
Good.
So I listen to what the people say,
Absolutely.
and then I incorporate it. Kind of reminds me of Diego Rivera, which is one of my favorites, because he says that he listens to what the people say.
So what has been the best response that you had heard about your murals, your artwork, when, like you talked earlier about the mural that you created because the riots?
Mm-hmm.
Would you think that was like, how the people reacted to that? What was
Well, the people's response to it was like a relief, because it's what's on the murals is things they would like to say,
right,
and don't say it. And so it becomes one voice. The mural is not even mine, because it took me something like 10 years later before I actually saw the mural, because I really felt like I was possessed.
Wow. So what are we gonna see next? What are your future projects? Are you working on something?
Well, actually I am. I'm working on a series on my baptism, because it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And Willie documented it.
Oh, wow. Oh,
He documented it, and I'm telling you, he did a beautiful job. And I want to do some things in regards to other baptism and how it felt for me personally. Outside of everybody else's chatter and talking, I want to talk about how it felt for me. The Panther mural I love dearly, which I love it so much because when I was growing up, they put their lives on the line for me. When I was chicken, I always tell people I had a yellow streak down my back. And my first encounter with people that didn't mind protecting the community with the law books in their hand, and at the time that it was the right to bear arms, but they didn't have no bullets in the guns. I just thought that they meant so much to me. So that's my dearest to my heart, closest to my heart, because I had the opportunity to meet a lot of the Panthers when I was rendering that mural. So that's one of my favorite. And then one of my next favorite, because they kind of run side by side, is the one that me and Raul did.
It's a beautiful one.
The Resurrection at Dorsey High School that's tore down now, because they wanted to build a gym.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that Willie, once again, he documented it.
Okay.
And but it's one of my favorite because it was. I don't want to leave Alma out either, because the reason why the collaboration with the Latino artists was to show the cultural similarities. And when you show the cultural similarities, then
we're
you
all
want
equal.
Exactly.
We're all equal. We're closer and we're family.
Yes.
Yes. So I just wanted to say thank you for all that, and thank you so much.
I love you too. I love you back.